Sex, money, and drugs. Sex, money, and drugs. Sex, money, and vice, nigga.
Space Ghost, Perk, Money, Jordan, the beast. Catch you slipping out your car, leave you dead in the streets. Lil' mama call my phone 3 a.m. when I'm asleep, begging me to put it on her with the late night creep.
If there are questions.
On my ass, rolling doobies and grass. Hella hoes walking by, watching titties and ass. See I'm suited and booted, watching adults swim. Everybody outside, but I ain't fucking with them. I'm a space nigga, bruh, yeah, I stay to myself. I be on my own planet, all I need is the wealth. I'm in my zone, putting on my cologne. Victoria's Secret on a match a bra with a thong. When she take it all off, I be pinching myself. You know I gotta thank God for the wealth. Sex, money, and drugs, that's what we all surrounded by. I wanna be rich, God, Lord, I don't wanna die.
Miami Vice, sex, money, space, nigga, swag, yeah, you master game. You feel me, bruh? Say so spurs, yeah, you know this world fucked up. This world fucked up. Sex, money, and drugs, really? Yeah, you know this world really? Fucked up. Really? Sex, money, and drugs, really? Yeah, you know this world fucked up. UFOs, bitch. Spaceship, money, and drugs, yeah, you shout to Kanye West. Sex, money, and drugs. Yeah, you know this world. Shout out for real. Yes. Sex, money, and drugs. Yeah, shout out to Currency. Yes. Shout out to Wiz. Sex, money, and drugs. Free Max B. Yes. Shout out to Wave Game. Yes. Shout out to Killer Cam. Yes. Shout out to all my strippers. Yes. Space Ghost Perk. Shout out to Krayshawn. Yes. Rest in peace, Jig. Yankee Nation, baby. Perk.
Sick that nigga, yeah, he be getting that long though. Same nigga spitting these lyrics on this fucking song. Ho, I love smoking cushion, pop that vape and that fucking ball. Ho, my grill is invisible, said diamonds minus the pros. Ho, cheesing at these hoes, I let them watch my ice illuminate. They pussy like Aquarius, riding dick till they losing weight. We preppy, pimperistic, Gucci on my everything. Louis V apparel on 2 fingers up at anything. Motherfuck these crackers, dog, they hating on the African. I hit Caucasian pussy after that she need an aspirin. I check up, stay hot, Mac, I play these hoes. They love my dreams, they love my bling, they love the things I say. Ayo's looking at your back, Lofty all up on the track. Lofty got the fattest rack from distributing city packs. X in my fanny pack, yeah, I be a flammy Mac. Yo, bitch don't know how to act, every time I bring it back. Yeah, I got that Puritan, all up in your ear again. Yeah, I got experience, that is why I'm arrogant. I feel like a Siberian snow, everywhere I go, I can get your blow on the low, keep it on the low. Motherfuck these crackers, dog, they hating on the African. I hit Caucasian pussy, after that she need an aspirin. I check a bank a fucking day, she pay, she stay hot, Mac, I play these hoes. They love my dreams, they love my bling, they love the things I say. Whole milk, yeah, it's rocked up. Bitches on my dick, yeah, I cock 'em up, yeah, I cock 'em down. Dick up on their spine, told a fucking bitch, my dick be feeling fine. When it's in that twat, beat it from the bag. Ruby fucking sick, got the 5 sag. Holla at your boy, catch me in that dome. 20-inch rims, got the 9 for the phone. Motherfuck these crackers, dog, they hating on the African. I hit Caucasian pussy, after that she need an aspirin. I check a bank a fucking day, she pay, she stay hot, Mac, I play these hoes. They love my dreams, they love my bling, they love the things I say.
Get your game up, nigga, get your game up. If it didn't cost that much, then put your chain up. Niggas won't hang with us just to be famous. Niggas won't bang something to get their name up. Get your game up, nigga, get your game up. If it didn't cost that much, then put your chain up. Niggas won't hang with us just to be famous. Niggas won't bang something to get their name up. Now you're walking around your city with your chain tucked, trying to get your name up. That's the ones you can't trust. Mentality dangerous, the same ones that change up. I told him step his game up. I'm doing shit you can't touch. You talking, but it ain't much. I'm walking with that thing clutch. Niggas do the same stuff, just mad cause they ain't us. What I spit is heinous. You did something out that ain't as much. Be high off that angel dust and thinking you can hang with us. I got niggas that bang off the real shit that I bring, but I still be off the chain, bitch. Ayy, hop in that thing and hit a lane switch. Ayy, I'm known to speak a different language. You bitches ain't shit, you simple and plain, but I resemble the game. I remember what I've been through, could've bent you out the frame. Yeah, I went throughout the flame and acted like a bitch and get you sent about the game. Quit fucking with them lames, man. Get your game up, nigga, get your game up. If it
Billy, when we all get up here, do you know how to turn the computer music down?
hang with us just to be famous, niggas won't bang.
Yeah, but you don't have to do it yet because we're not here.
Get they name up.
All right, everybody, to the stage. That's right, that's you, Saman. Vera from the back.
Like guitar with English, can do a couple of sides. No covers or?
No, yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah, give it up for Hive Mind too. I love that woo. Can we get one more excited woo? Thanks. I needed that feedback. Thanks for coming, y'all. We're doing this series called Hive Mind. That is just where we get together and we talk about shit, and along with the music industry and with, I don't know, with promote, like whatever. It's just different ways that artists and venues can work together to keep this scene alive. And by that I just mean like venues, musicians, promoters, all that shit. Like we're not in competition with each other. And we need to share ideas so that we can keep shit vibrant. And we're streaming right now, so that's cool. Everybody wave to the streamers. Hi, you streamers. Is that what they're called? Are they called streamers? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Sure.
Viewers? Yeah. I'm 43. So yeah, we did this once before, and it was just a general thing. We had Stormy here, Shirlette, other people, and now we're just gonna do a live music edition or like performance edition in that way. And our format is such: we each brought one question to ask the panel, and what I don't want to happen is we go down the line. You know, that shit is boring. Yeah. You know, if you don't have something to say, don't say anything. And if you want to interrupt your friend, do that. That's great.
I do know all of them.
Yeah. And when you speak in the mic. Make sure you do that. And so we're going to do that. And then if anyone has any other ideas about how to do it as we go along, please speak up. But I thought I'd ice break with my question, unless anyone feels moved. All right.
Well, I definitely want to hear from the audience too. So if you have a question, maybe once we do ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, do a little Q&A.
I guess they are important. No, yeah, we're definitely going to do a Q&A. I guess it's like if we'll do one question, and then if we want to do an audience, like there's just so many different ways to do it. I want everyone to feel involved. And if you're streaming, you can comment. I'm going to sound like such a fucking boomer. You can comment or something on our Insta or Shum, wherever you're streaming. And Billy, who's behind. Hi, Billy.
Hi, Billy.
Billy will also like
Should
read
we
your
start with
question.
everyone introducing themselves?
This is great. That's a great idea. All right. Do you want to? You can take the mic out of the. Yeah. The neck bend doesn't have to happen.
My name is Trey Charles. Hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? Oh, I'm from upstate New York, and I play music, and I make noise. So that's my thing. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo! Yeah, can we give a woo after that?
Woo. I will also add that he built a band around him that are very, very cool. You are also sponsored by.
Red Bull.
This is. I appreciate that as well. Yeah. D'Angelico guitars, Supro. Yeah.
You gotta add your creds to it. Yeah. Hello, my name is AZUL. I am a local disco pop emotional diva. I have been in the area since I went to college here in 2010. In and out from the area, I have played, I think, in almost every venue except for some of the new ones. And I only play with, I don't play with any straight white men. That's like my main thing is that I don't do that.
Is that a genre?
It's my genre. I started doing that back in like 2017, 2018, where I was just like, I'm tired of it. And so sometimes it's hard to like, gather the right people. But right now I've got my core people, and I can say that every time I go on stage, I'm not the only queer person. I'm not the only person of color. I'm Latina, by the way. And I am not the only femme presenting person. So that's my claim to today, I guess.
Get it for AZUL.
Hello, everyone. My name is Vera. I'm the booking manager at Rubies on 5 Points, just up the street. And I've been in Durham for 4 years. I've done front of house. I've been a stagehand. I've worked door. I've done all the little, jobs that make a show get off the ground. But I'm loving what we're doing at Rubies lately, and I'm really interested to hear from everybody about ways that we can just collaborate more effectively together. We're an ecosystem here in Durham and the Greater Triangle, and we all got to work together and talk so we can not only survive but also thrive. So that's my tagline.
Sweet. Hello, I'm Saman. I am from Miami, Florida, and then here. And I make music, I produce records, engineer records, do live sound, and I co-run a record label, and I'm a librarian, and I am a gamer organizer. Nice. That's my deal. Woo!
Game organizer is so interesting. We're not going to get there today, but I really want to. One thing I like is that we're bookending with the orange hats planned. I'm Kim. I run the Pinhook and started it with friends in 2008. Been here for 17 years, which is fucking cool. Woo! Yeah. And I play music, and I have toured a lot, and I do a lot of fun stuff, but all because Durham has been such a supportive community. This come in and like new venues open up, which is awesome. It's just been interesting to see how we maintain this space and our vibe and our like connection with musicians and the scene. I say scene in quotes because there's not one scene, right? It's like just like a town of musicians or a city of musicians. And I'm excited for these because I get to hang out with my friends and we get to talk shop like it's not work, It's really fucking fun to be seen by you guys and to see y'all. But yeah, thanks for coming. You guys got your woos on. Okay, my question, and I'm wondering if we want to get answers to, I don't want this to last forever. I don't want people to get bored or tired. So we're gonna have a hard cutoff at like 9, but we can earlier. And I feel like panelists should answer, but if people have burning things to say, what do you think? Should people just come up here? Okay, yeah, just come up here. Just come on up. No stage, no problem. My question is, it was 2 parts, but I think as a venue owner, I really want to know, like I think a thing that happens is that artists and venue are pitted against each other a lot in this like who's getting money and how's the deal split and why are you getting this much? And there's like no transparency or very little. And that's something I really want to change, you know? Not quite sure how. I'm like, let's post our QuickBooks on our Instagram, you know? No, exactly. So that's, but I'm curious for artists, what y'all think, like our venue specifically, or just venues, smaller venues in the Triangle can be doing better to like meet y'all where you're at and to like collaborate in promotion and get people in the door. I think that's number one, is like getting people in the door, but also anything that collaboration, any collaboration that could happen, that would be helpful. Go.
Are you saying between artist and venue, or you saying in general in the city, collaboration?
Yeah, I mean artist and venue. I mean specifically, because I feel like that's what like somehow weirdly, it's just like, it's like class. It's like, oh, don't let me, it's like, anyway. Yeah, we shouldn't be pitted against each other because we're all struggling.
Yeah, no, I feel that it's symbiotic, like without the venue to have like the proper space. I feel like we should be building each other up. And I don't know, like, an idea that we can collaborate on. I mean, I feel like what we talked about, so many genres and so many spaces for like it to actually happen, and so people can have variety. I think that's an important thing, because like one space shouldn't just be one space. I think that's one of the things that I don't like. Like when you go to like, oh, this is that spot, this is the jazz spot, or this is the rock spot, or this is like, people should all be able to experience that venue and what charm the venue has. So I like what you're doing. You're doing it.
I like what you said about venues being not so like niche driven.
Yeah.
I understand why people do that, but I also have like, to frame my question better, I would like to ask to the more venue-centric people, what is the difference that you've seen post like 2021, 2022? Because I think the conversation has changed a lot. Like when we started doing music 10, 15, 17 years ago, it was a completely different world. And now here we are in 2025, almost 2026. Like I feel like it's a free-for-all at sometimes, where as a musician, I am emailing, and not getting a single response back, except maybe like 2 weeks beforehand. They're like, hey, do you still want this date? No, I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about, I'm talking about like
you're
venues.
not.
Yeah, it's venues in general. It's that like, I see it, I'm like, you guys are inundated by everyone that wants to play. Sometimes I feel as a musician, it feels like we're screaming into the void for just someone to like give us a chance. And so when it comes to that collaboration, what I have seen good results with is that when me as an artist, I pick up my fellow artists of like who I want, and then I present a package to you, the venue, and say, I've solved all of your problems. Can we have this date, please? Yeah. So I have seen that be really, really helpful. But at the same time, even when you present like a perfect package, it still doesn't go through. And then I understand from like a money standpoint, when you're speaking about transparency, I think like this is gonna sound like so pedantic and stupid, but like a nice little graphic of like helping people understand of like where the money that you make per show actually goes will help people understand a little bit more, because you have to pay your door person, you have to pay your lights, you have to pay your rent, you have to do all of your things, but I don't think every single artist understands that.
Yeah. A nice graphic.
Yeah, I love a graphic.
I love that shit.
Yeah, just like a graphic literally as people walk in, and something you can attach to your emails where it's like, hey, when you do a show, this is who the money is benefiting. And you're like, oh my God, thanks so much. When I do a show, this is where the money goes, to my bandmates. Yeah. So I think there needs to be a little bit more mutual understanding in that way. Plus, like, how has venues been post-pandemic for you guys?
I'm going to listen. I need to go get my notebook, so you guys keep talking.
This is why I brought mine. So smart. Don't go anywhere without this.
Well, I've thought about what you're saying, AZUL, because I think sometimes people walk into a place like Pinhook or Rubies and they see a bar and they're just like, oh, they're selling all these drinks, they're making all this money, and they're usually, getting some cut of the door. But I mean, we've had shows where, like, when you take in sound, door, the cost to pay the booker, which is kind of a soft cost, right? And then, you know, the bands all have drink tickets. It's like there's really hardly anything to go around. So I've thought about putting like just even our basic expenses on settlements, just to say like, hey, this is not a part of the calculation whatsoever, but just so you know, every show we pay $150 for sound and door. And just to help show that like, and artists also have hidden expenses and soft costs that like we don't get to see too. Like we get that. I would be really curious to know if anyone has ideas of how we could like represent those soft costs, because it's hard to like split them up per show. But I hear what you're saying about just even itemizing a little bit.
Yeah.
Would anyone have like be off put by that?
No,
No?
I love that. I love that idea.
Okay, good. Do you have anything you want to say?
I think transparency is pretty much always for the best. So it's a good idea.
Not your entire QuickBooks. We don't need to know your like ID number.
I would like that. I'll see that.
They're pretty confusing anyway. But yeah, I guess just real quick too, like we always end up talking about money here because I think it's a thing that feels like, or I guess the last one we did, feels like really not transparent and feels like where we beef and fight. But just in like, as these questions keep coming, like I'm also curious like how we can collaborate on promo and how we can, like things that are like, you know, not just like the ways that we fight over money or like aren't transparent about money. But yeah, these are all really great.
So I would say with promotion, it's just another form of communication. And if you're consistent in your communication from the get-go, then that translates to all of it. So like if I'm putting something out on social media, and also social media, the algorithms, they like consistency. So as a brand, as a venue, if you're posting consistently and you're, I hate myself for all the words I'm about to say, harvesting engagement.
That was tough.
Yeah, it hurt real hard. But if you're doing all of those things consistently with every act and every show, the problem is that like you guys don't have not every venue has a one person who's doing the social media and the promotion. That is a job in and of itself. So like if there's a way to find someone in our community or in our, you know, scene that is like, hey, I'm really good at this shit and I want to like help a venue be successful at this, that would be amazing. Or like just someone who gets that would be amazing. Because I think where the break happens is promoted the shit out of the show and like the venue only posted it one time the day of. That doesn't help the social media stats, and it's like also feels empty for the person. But I think if we could have more people in the community that would be like, hey, let me be the person that's gonna like organize it for that venue, that would be kind of cool. Communication, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Anything from the crew? We good? Yes.
Yes.
Adding to that, like as an artist, I have found, and I'm not talking about the Pinhook because I've never played it, but this sort of low-hanging fruit of like when I post something on Instagram, let's say about a show that's coming up, and you invite the club as a collaborator. 9 times out of 10, they don't.
Oh, I love it when we get tagged as the
Me
club. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
It's all I have to do, and most places don't do it. Like
that's bullshit.
a lot of places do it.
I was gonna say that's bullshit. Or that sucks is what I mean. Sorry, you're great.
I'm curious. Oh, go ahead, Kim.
Well, I was just gonna say like I love that so much because I don't have to find you. I don't have to post. I mean, I will post, but I'm like put it. You know, it's like just helpful and like once or twice is helpful. Some people have done it like 9 times, and I'm like, please don't get mad at me, but I just don't want my entire feed to be your burlesque show. I'm so sorry. But that's really important to do.
I'm curious, like show of hands, how many people have been frustrated with a venue or promoter's lack of promoting on their side at a show in the last 6 months, let's say?
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, not very many. That's great.
Yeah.
Good job, venues.
I mean, for those people, or even if you didn't raise your hand, I would love to hear about some things that you wish I'd done differently. Of course, we can all say like more posts on Instagram or whatever, but I think we all know that posting flyers over and over again is only so much. So like, what kind of creative things would you like to see a promoter or venue do to help get people to come to the show?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
When you said the soft cost, I was just thinking, like, including with that transparency of like the budget and everything like that, but allocating some funds to be like, all right, if you have a flyer, we will take $25 and we will print out this thing, and we'll have this poster for you, this tangible poster that we'll put out in a coffee shop or something like that around close to where we're at, just so that we can do that. But just giving that option of some type of tangible thing versus just a social media void type of promotion. Because I feel like if people can see it and they can kind of see your creativity or your face or whatever you want to do, it just gives it more of a human experience and makes people actually want to invest. So I like that idea.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
One thing we do too that I always love getting feedback, but as we like do a confirmation email, it's like, here's what we're doing to promote. And here's what we want you to do. I don't know if anyone ever reads any of this shit, but it is there. And so hopefully that's helpful. All right, next question. Saman, do you want to do it?
I always want to know people who like work professionally in music, or venue owners, or any kind of. Do you guys attend shows? As just like as attendees, do you go to? You do?
Yeah.
Wow. Because I don't really, unless. Sorry, let me clarify. Unless like a friend is playing, or somebody was like, "Hey, there's an open spot on the guest list. Would you like to come?" Or it's like a band that I'm obsessed with, And so I know that I'm not the only one that feels that way and that behaves that way, and so I'm wondering. Yeah, I'm just curious about y'all's behavior and your take on that, and whether that's meaningful in terms of getting people out to shows.
I don't always expect my musician friends or like my music friends to come to my shows because they are likely also playing that night. But it is a beautiful surprise when they are there. But I myself go to shows a lot, and I try to go to shows. I live in Raleigh. I'm sorry. I go to shows in Durham. I go to shows in Raleigh. I book my ass to Cat's Cradle every once in a while. But that's because that's how my brain is. If I'm expecting something from my community to give to me, I also have to give to them. So like showing up is a big part of that. And it's not just, my friends that are playing. It's also like a mid-tier to lower tier touring act that I happen to be following, or like just I look at all the calendars for the Pinhook. I look at the calendars for the Cat's Cradle, for
That's amazing.
and more presents. I am a little intense. Yeah. To me, I think that's important. It's like, if I want my music community to do well, like I have to be educated in my music community and like know what's going on. And like when I was first starting out, if there's any like folks that are just starting out, like I went to every single open mic and thing that was every single night in the Triangle area. If you really want to, there's a shit ton of music every single night. In every single town, you can go to Nightdale, you can go to fucking Nightdale. Yeah, you can find, like, if you really want to, if that's your hunger, you can go find it. So yes, but at the same time, it's like you do sacrifice home time. Sorry, my wife knows this. You sacrifice home time. Maybe I sacrifice a little bit of my own creative piece and my own creative space, but there's cycles. You don't have to go to every single show every single week. I make time. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna see at least this many shows this month because it's important to me. But it has to be important to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Consistency piece is really interesting.
Yeah.
Like, if there were 1,000 of you, then
You don't want 1,000. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, Saman, I'm thinking about, like, when I was younger, I used to take chances on shows more often, like see bands that I didn't really know. And I go to a lot of the shows at Rubies, so admittedly, like, I'm not going to as much stuff, out and about. But I think about ways to I don't encourage people to take risks with a night out more, and I don't know. I'm curious if anyone has any ideas about how to do that. But as much shows as I do go to, even before Rubies, I have lost, I think, some of the hunger to just like roll the dice on something new. And I'm wondering what kind of responsibility that Kim and I have to like kind of cultivate that and make it easy for people to do so.
I like that, taking a risk on a night out. That's your time is precious.
Yeah. And we're not, I mean, all of us, we're not just competing with like other shows, but we're competing with like every piece of entertainment that's ever existed on people's couches. And that's tough. You know, I get it. I love my couch.
I love your couch. I think, I mean, that was a sick burn question, I think. At least, oh yeah, yeah. No, I feel you. I was personalizing or whatever. But yeah, I feel like it's really, I was just thinking about like people who work from 9 to 5. Like, do they, on their day off, go somewhere during the day? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it's like, what? Like, I don't have any nights off for the next week and a half, you know? And it's wild, and I hate that that's true. And that's why I appreciate day shows, because I think that makes things more accessible for people to go. And also, I don't drink, and I don't party, really. Oh, I party, but I don't drink. That's a whole other conversation. But yeah, so going to, like, I'm like, what am I going to do? I'm going to go to a bar, and, like, there's not a lot of stuff to do but drink or get fucked up. And I think that's fucked up, too. I think we should have shows, we should just have more things for people to consume as venues to, like, to enjoy a space here or something. Or, like, a culture of not just drunkenness, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's important.
Random suggestion. My parents, they go to this mystery movie night at AMC like every Tuesday or something like that. They live in Charlotte, but they do that because the theater offers like a discounted price, but they don't tell you what movie you're going to see. So I'm interested to see if it's like an idea. Maybe venues put on like a mystery show.
Well, that's what So Far Sounds was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be,
And
yeah.
it collapsed.
Yeah.
But Pinhook does that, and we're going to do it for we played, I mean, there are people here that have played these shows, but they're fundraiser shows, and they're like secret shows, and we've done it a couple of times, and they've been fucking sick. And we're going to do 4 this year, and if you're on our Patreon, you'll find out. Shameless plug.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's a sick idea.
Yeah. I mean, y'all already do it, so
But I mean, like, it can
sick
go on a
idea.
smaller level. Like,
Yeah.
we're like, it can go on all kinds of levels, you
Yeah.
know? We're like trying to be underplay venue, but.
But yeah, I think that just like maybe even having some of that allocated for like a So Far format, but doing it more like a day party festival mystery show thing that they do once a month. Don't know who's coming out, but you know that's gonna be the thing, and that could be like a destination situation, just to generate, and then have the different venues bop between. All right, we're gonna do the surprise show at Rubies now. Now it's gonna be at Pinhook. Now it's gonna be at Motorco. Just like some type of collaborative activation that just makes everybody work together. During the day, yeah.
Also, to your point, Vera, like, what would get you out? Like, you're like inundated. You're like, I know all these bands are playing, because I'm just in there all the time. But it's like, what would get me out is my friends texting me. And I think that's like the new old promo.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, text your friends, tell them to go to shows. People are like, Instagram. But like literally a text. It's like, yo, hairy-legged women are playing tomorrow. Tomorrow, right?
Oh, tomorrow.
At Rubies.
Yeah, sorry. Yes, that is tomorrow.
Go to that, like, you know, I was like, cool, someone's going to text me and we'll go to that show. But I wouldn't know otherwise that was like what I should be going to, because I've been inundated, you know. Anybody out there?
I love an earlier show.
Probably 8.
I mean, on Fridays and Saturdays, we have DJ parties, and so our window, we still want to do shows, but our window is 7 p.m. to 9:30. And the Friday 7 slot has been it's been a little hit or miss, to be honest. I think it's hard for the 9 to 5ers to like come off of work and make it in time for. and eat something. Yeah, and we do have tamales, but that's not enough for some people. And so I don't know if it's like because it's Friday and people are like getting ready for a bigger night. I don't know what the thing is. But the rest of our shows start at 8. Am I hearing that there's interest to go earlier than 8?
I love a day party. I love going to bed earlier. As many shows as I go to, I do like to go to bed early. So.
Okay. Cool.
I have a question. This is an idea that just popped in my head. Would you say, okay, you really want to go to a show and you don't want to go to a show alone. Maybe you could get a discounted ticket if you personally texted like 5 people, like multi-level marketing levels, you know, guys. Maybe a discounted ticket if you show us like, hey, I texted 5 people about this show, then they get a little discount ticket and we get marketing.
I like that.
Yeah.
I also wonder about venues partnering with like social justice organizations on a more consistent basis to like, I don't know, I feel like something that would get me out is to know that some of the money that I was spending or some of the, you know, labor that I was putting into getting there and being there and staying there and whatnot was in service of something a little broader than just the show, you know? And I know that kind of like institutional collaboration is complicated, but something that might be worth looking into.
Yeah, like each month is a different cause or something, and then 20% or whatever.
Yeah,
like
maybe
goes to
it's
that.
some of it is financial, and then some of it maybe is just like representation around the venue, or
Yeah.
like if we're talking about social media, maybe it's more of like a collaborative campaign around like, hey, here the bands that we're booking this month are relevant to this moment in time or this issue for X, Y, and Z reason. And I know that can be tough too because you don't know what bands are going to be coming through all the time. Or anyway, I know it's multi-tiered, but it's just something I'd be interested in.
I mean, you guys do early dance parties, right? And they're like,
Yeah, we have our adulting parties on the 2nd and 4th Saturday.
Are they poppin'?
They're poppin', yeah.
Nice.
They're super popular. So that definitely addresses the early thing. But yeah, I like what you're saying, Saman. I mean, the best solutions and ideas we have are going to be ones that require collaboration and like the whole community coming together. So yeah, I'm into that, what you're saying.
Cool. You know, move on question-wise. Who else wants to go?
I'm going to skip Vera so that we're not going down
Thank
the
you
line.
so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So mine's kind of like it's kind of heavy. It has to do with safety. And again, I live in Raleigh, and we're losing a lot of queer spaces in Raleigh, but that's because they're not safe. And I've never had any issue with the Pinhook, but it's like sometimes I know that, and like how you were saying, like alcohol has a lot to do with that and safe spaces. And I just wanted to hear from my community and like hear from all of you of just how do we, to the best of our ability, ensure that our most vulnerable feel safe in these spaces and at these shows. Because like I could text my trans friends and they're like, nah girl, I'm not going there. Why would I go there? And I'm like, you're right. So I would love to know kind of like what's the feedback. To share a little bit of what I've been working on, I have been working secretly with someone in the North Carolina Office of Music. Whether or not that will exist next year is a whole other thing, but like there could be a cool thing to have like an agreed upon rules for collaborative venues and say like this is not allowed here. Or, this, I know we say like this behavior is not tolerated, but like having more people aware in a space at a venue that like a sober person who's paying attention, because it's just happening too often. So my question's about safety.
Does anybody in the audience want to say anything about that? Just so we can get y'all talking. Yeah.
Well, my name's Alex. I'm like a bedroom musician, mostly YouTuber a little bit. Kind of a lurker, but I feel like I've poked my head in a lot of these spaces I feel like what came to mind for me is like a space like Legends. It was a space that like at one point I felt safe, and then you feel like the demographic kind of changes,
Yes.
and the priorities of the venue changes, and you could see like there was recently like an assault there, and I feel like it's primarily just like spaces that don't prioritize community involvement and community safety. I feel like community is kind of like the key to it. I just feel like, to me, it's like ironic. A lot of these conversations revolve around like what venues should do, but I feel like I'm currently in a venue that's really kind of like among those that are, to me, like the benchmark for doing all the things you're supposed to be doing. Just like community-oriented safety. I just feel like it's, so to me, like how I would answer that is to say like, you know, it is true that like your demographic does matter, and fostering a very particular community that orients safety and holding people accountable. I really just think it's like a community oriented thing. So that would be my
Yeah.
perspective.
I mean, I think it's a yes and for sure, because I do think as venues we have a responsibility to do things like staff trainings and standardize codes of conduct to say like these behaviors are unacceptable, this is not allowed in our bar. I mean, one thing Kim and I have talked about is kind of forming like a coalition of downtown Durham venues, and one thing I've thought about with that is kind of creating like a Durham venue code of conduct to say like if you go to a music venue in Durham or go to a show in Durham, like you can have these expectations. And that can extend to a lot of everything. Like Kim was talking about a Fourth Amendment training. I think like that's a great idea. So I'm not disagreeing with you. I don't want to pass the buck on our responsibility as hosts to say like, hey, when you come to our party, like this is how we want you to feel, and safety is the number one thing for us.
Yeah. I'm also wondering if there's, I mean, I know in Chapel Hill we rely a lot on Triangle Mutual Aid for like safety monitoring stuff. And they're really good at just like listening to needs. And I know there are multiple mutual aid organizations around here who can provide and do provide those kinds of services where like, kind of what you said, like a sober person who's paying attention, right? And there might be some kind of like longer term partnership with a mutual aid organization for something like that, like folks who are politically, ideologically aligned and are also, whatever scale you want. I mean, it could be just literally someone with eyes on the crowd to report something. Or like at Sleepy Fest, we have mutual aid there, and there's at least one person with firearms training who knows what to do if shit goes down. You know, they've got all kinds of stuff that you can try.
We have a question.
There's a sizable community for that actually in Raleigh, and growing a bit in Durham that does like event safety, but typically for demonstrations, though they will occasionally do event safety for queer events or events with a lot of immigrant community because of the shit times we live in. So yeah, there's definitely like protest marshals or like safety marshals.
Does that have a name?
So this is like DSSG, so the Demo Safety Support Group in Raleigh specifically, but they're with the Raleigh Wake Workers Assembly because they also were there on a lot of picket lines and stuff. Some of them are also in Durham. There's also just people in Durham who have like training with de-escalation and with medics. So if you guys want to get connected to those people, I can.
Yes.
Please.
Does that cost money to the venues? Like who it's already like a self-funded type of thing?
We don't ask for money. It's like, but also depends on the event.
Mm.
So if it's, yeah, really it depends on the event. Like the real thing is that you like tell people about it, and then if people want to come and support it, they do. So it depends. Like for just like a random show, probably not. For something that is raising money for a cause, definitely.
Yeah.
If it's, for example, like raising money for like Palestine or for, recent arrests, if the cops decide to be shit, then yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's awesome.
Thank you. I will find you later.
Or if you feel like there's heat expected.
Yeah.
Got it.
So like if you think there's like, if it's a drag show or if there's a lot of events, yeah.
I think like, thank you for that. And I think like there are other ways, like there's so many people that are trained in de-escalation and there's so many like in our community, and I think finding those people, like we, for our drag shows, like a lot of our drag performers are those people, are connected to those people, and so we will have a communication. We'll be like, okay, cool, how are you feeling? Is it like when all that shit happened in Southern Pines with Naomi, and like there's a really heightened like sense of urgency around keeping our spaces safe. We got in touch with them. We were like, how are you feeling about the show? And they were like, cool, we're gonna reach out to these people. Can you talk to them? It's just like connecting, like you said, like with your community and figuring out how to keep yourself safe. But I do agree with Vera about venues creating safer spaces. Like that is actually majorly our job. I feel like that is a huge part of our job, is like training our staff or working with our staff who are already trained on this and thinking about this, to like say like, well, when you see someone sketchy at the door, like what do you do to your part? Like y'all, we're in charge of this space. We are the holders of this space. And I think what we have to do better, what we've been trying and need to keep doing better, is having signage all over the space too. Because I think in this space, if you see a sign that's like, if you see something that you're uncomfortable with, come talk to a bartender, or come talk to a door person or something, then you're inviting that communication in. And it's not like no one feels burdened by telling someone something. You know, there's like a special drink you can order at the bar if you want to get away from the person that's with you at the bar. You know, there's like all these ways that I think, because staff wants that too, right, y'all? Yep. Like, it makes, like, we care about the people in here, and we care about our space, and we also, like, deeply want a smooth night. You know, like, deeply want that too, for everybody, for us, for everybody. And so, like, yeah, anyway, that's our job. And I feel like any suggestions that folks have about that, please, like, email your venue people. Like, we're all trying to do that as much as possible. You've got 2 more questions? Y'all feeling good? How are you feeling? Yeah, give me a woo. We got 2 more questions. We'll try to do these in about 15, and then we'll open it up to y'all, or y'all can get drink. You know, it's a party.
Go ahead, Trent.
So, question. I don't really have one, but I do have. I have just a random suggestion. Like, it might be useful, it might not be, but this age of subscriptions. I feel like you agree? Okay.
I have subscriptions all the time.
Yeah, I feel like starting small would be a dope way to do it, but just like Durham having a subscription base around some of these shows, and the venues partnering with that and offering that as an option for people who do frequent 1 million shows a year. Like, it just would be, I feel like it would be fiscally beneficial for both parties, and I think it would just generate a lot more stability, just to allow for the good days and the bad days. So have y'all thought about
Would you
doing
say a little more about subscriptions? And maybe you'll say some stuff, but that word is broad to me.
Oh, so I mean, like, subscribe, like, so if, say for instance, the Pinhook had just a month of shows, and like to pay for this month of shows, you pay this fee, and you are able to go to this many shows, and that is the thing, and you're able to just kind of have like a wristband or whatever, just to be able to do that. And if all the venues partner together to kind of offer like this Durham music subscription package, I think that would just be a very, like, it just helps everybody collaborate, everybody promote, everybody just help generate stability in the city. So, but it sounds like you got thoughts.
No, I just like go to bed at night thinking about this.
Yeah.
And I don't know the right way to structure it. That's like an easy place to get stuck with it, because I'm just very sensitive to making sure that artists get paid.
Right.
And maybe I think about that too much, to the sense where like there's more creative things to.
No, keep thinking about it.
Okay, cool. But yeah, no, I think that it's a model that people are very used to participating in. And I think Kim does an amazing job with the Patreon. If you're not on the Pinhook Patreon, please get on it, because it's sick. And I missed the first Hive Mind, and I was able to watch it later because it was on the Patreon. So thank you. But yeah, and I think it could work either at the venue level or if this downtown Durham coalition or whatever gets legs, like it could be more of a group thing. I'm just not sure, and maybe there's ideas of how to structure like payment to a band. So if there's like 50 people that come and 5 people come from the subscription, like is it just like a kicker? I mean, what would feel right to people? What would feel fair? Does anyone have any thoughts?
Would you be able to ensure like some kind of guarantee per band? Like if you are using a subscription model, and yes, they sell folks at the door, there should be a way of knowing like how many subscribers came to that show versus how many, separate from the subscription came to that show. And there's got to be some kind of math. I'm not that math person. There's got to be some way to understand that. But with those subscribers, you could have a guarantee per show.
Per subscriber.
Yeah.
So if 5 people came and we're comping like paying back $5 per or like $10 per person, is that what do you mean by guarantee?
So I could also be thinking about this in the wrong way. To me, like a subscription process means that you have a capital in that subscription like pot, I guess. Right. And from that subscription pot, you pay everything that you need to pay for, like keep your venue going. But what's left over of that is like the cream that you can then give. You can guarantee money for each band that comes in, even if it is $30, because $30 will help a touring band get to the next city. Sure. So like that's what I'm saying is that like you can then as a venue say, no matter who you are, you come to my venue and I will give you money. That is the best marketing you could ever have. You'll get everyone at your door. Right. Does that make sense? Did that math? No, I didn't use numbers. That's why.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, just to piggyback off that, I feel like if you want to get into like the specific of each subscriber and then pay that back, that's an option. Or if it's like a bigger push just to stabilize things, and then at that cap, just being like, all right, well, we've been able to stabilize this. Now we know what we can allocate towards these bands for a year, and we can do it fairly and realistically and offer this versus.
It's almost like a fund.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Right,
Yeah.
a pot that you could just kind of dip into.
Cool. I had not thought about it that way. I was thinking more like if we scan like a subscription, then it's like equal to like
that would
a
be
ticket.
a dope way too. Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that idea too. I'll have to think through executing it.
And then every person that comes into the door that is not a subscriber, that was like, oh, this is my first time coming into this venue because I came to see this band, you then have access to them as a newser. So it's like you're constantly getting new subscriber because each band is bringing in more people that could be part of the program. Yeah. Again, multi-level marketing schemes, guys. That's what we're doing here
I think
today.
artists would make more money if we did it per person that comes, but then the fund would be supplemental, I think.
Right, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Not to poke a hole, but one problem, I know I just left and came back, but I was listening. Or something that I feel like if maybe some people had some advice for this is getting bands to opt in, because we would have to have that conversation with almost every band, and I think that's what kind of stops me from that. It's like booking agents also will all say no, and then it's like deciding how to tell people what shows they can and can't come to. Do you know what I mean?
What do you like? So you mean the bands have to opt in for what?
For that, because bands have to say yes to that. Like we give them the deal, so it's like, right? It's like here's the deal. It's this percentage from
Give
the
them the
door,
deal,
and then
okay.
here's something else we do. We do subscriptions, and
Yeah.
if definitely booking agents from bigger booking companies will
Right.
say no
Yeah.
to that. I just really think that's definitely true.
Yeah, I'm saying as far as like stabilizing or just like giving more of a, I guess more of a stable ground for the venues in like Durham and the scene, just being like similar to like how WUNC does their fundraiser to sustain public radio, kind of doing this subscription-based thing to sustain live music. And if you have the subscription, like it's more for the patrons coming in, less about like the band, but more about like the venue being able to have that responsibility. Like, hey, we have solid ground, so now we're gonna do the right thing and help pay these bands on top of that versus the latter, like offering, okay, we get this from these people, so y'all get this. More of like, this is what Durham does, it stabilizes so we can offer this to people. You know what I'm saying, kinda?
I think so. I think maybe we can also talk later if everyone else gets
Yeah.
it. But I think what I'm worried about is how to account for those people to reporting back to the agents and to the.
Yeah, there's that other entity that of the booking. I think I'm following along what Kim is saying, that there's another entity that would feel cut out from this situation that's not even getting to like the final artist. I love how many entities are in the way of me getting paid. But everyone's useful, everyone's valid.
Everyone wants a cut of nothing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so there's gotta be a way, and maybe you gotta be sly about it. Maybe we're like, hey, we're gonna buy you pizza, or like through the subscription process, you can offer like perks for the bands that are like, you know, something that would help them along their way if they're touring or like something like that, where it's like, cool, maybe the booking agent doesn't get a piece of that, but the band does. Is that?
Yeah, curious.
So I think, yeah, I agree with that. And I think, I'm thinking about it from the standpoint of like the customer, the patrons, like people coming in, versus the involving the band in the booking. Like I'm saying, stabilizing as far as the scene of music lovers in the city, like people going to the venues and actually supporting the venues more so than the venue involving the booking. And like the venue still operates and offers from their stance, but they have people in the city coming to these on a regular basis, subscribing, invested, with the ability to come and go, but also with the ability to just support, even if they're not necessarily there. So it's less about a payback and more just about like, if the venues are good, essentially the venues should be taking care of the artists that are here too, in a sense.
Anyone out there? Do you want a mic? Okay, cool.
I think the real question is who is throwing the show. If the venue is throwing the show, that makes sense because the venue is the ones controlling who's
Yeah.
playing whenever. But if I'm a promoter,
Right.
I'm the one responsible to pay everything.
Yeah.
So I don't see how that makes sense for the venue not to be like, okay, our patron get to just like give the people the key. Because even
Yeah.
if I get a percentage of whatever comes in, that doesn't beat the $20 that you
Yeah.
have to come to me.
Well, essentially that's like in that sense, the promoter would be the band now. So that's gonna be on the venue. Like that's, if you're putting on a show and you're like, all right, this is the show, this is who we got, this is what we want to do for the show, and you set up the deal that way, the venue should then, on that term, be able to have a guarantee with like some type of analytic of like, okay, if it gets to this point, you get that. On top of that, you get return to do the show more, like some type of incentive. But it's you would be, the venue would just be the venue at that point. You are the show putting it on. So like you would take on that venue's identity, I guess, in a sense. Like I'm not sure if I'm making sense.
I
Like
think it's going back to like an opting in. You can opt in to be part of a subscription show or not.
Right.
Yeah.
We could also cut, and then we can. Okay, Bailey's got. Okay, we could also cut out the not cut out. It could just be a different perk than getting into a show for free too. Because like I think when you're dealing with all these like right angle, like talking to this person about money, who's talking to that person about money, who's talking to that person about money, then inevitably money and trust don't go together very easily, you know, and everyone's always watching their dollars, which makes a lot of sense.
Right.
And so I feel like if it's like just on the venue and the patron, it's like about the bar, it's about whatever, you know, it's just like you don't have to spend 30 minutes explaining it to somebody, hoping they get it, write a contract, all that shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do like the idea of a subscription of something, which is why we do Patreon,
Yeah.
because we're like, okay, join us, then you'll be able to see old streams, then you'll be able to do, it's like, what else can we offer so that artists, so we don't have to have these conversations that are already so. It's like not. It's like when you're with your partner and you're like, I'm just not gonna talk about. I'm just not gonna smoke around you. Anybody else? Yeah. Billy, you said you got a comment?
I don't want to keep going on the subscription thing because I feel like we talked about it quite a bit and we'll probably offline about it. But essentially, the venue would take on subscriber fee because the venue already has the money. So it'd be basically like the venue writing a check for those subscribers coming in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. I don't want to keep beating it a horse, as they say, but yeah. I like subscriptions.
Well, I'm glad it came up.
Okay, we're gonna have a meeting about subscriptions after we get off the stage.
Next Hive
All right.
Mind, a subscription edition.
Subscription breakout group. Vera, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. Okay, I want to know from artists, what are things that happen at a venue, at a show, or even before a show with promo that just makes your skin crawl, or gives you the ick, or is just really frustrating? Because I never want to do that to anybody. So I'd like to know now.
Do we want to pose it to the crew?
Yeah,
first?
anyone out there?
I see we have
Yeah,
a
Amy?
hand. Yo, vice versa. I'm just kidding. It's you. It's you.
Yeah, totally. I never want that to happen.
Yeah. That. I have a question. So, load in time is when everyone shows up and brings their instruments inside, right? Load in time for making the stage ready shouldn't that be before we get there?
Yes, it should.
Okay. Just that was my question.
Yeah. Which I think was what Sinclair said. You got another one, Sinks, or were you?
That's kind of the gist.
Okay, cool.
Just like the load-in, sound check.
That's a good gripe.
Inconsistencies.
That's a good gripe.
It's a good gripe.
We have a gripe evaluator right here.
Yeah, Amy?
Hey, big thing that I've always dealt with has been the amount of responsibility put on the artist to come up with all of the promotion materials. At the same time, there does not seem to be not saying any venue in particular, just a lot that I've just dealt with, both local and on tour. There seems to be a resounding lack of responsibility as who, and aside from that, whether we could put aside the idea of responsibility and just turn it into a collaboration, because I've had shows get canceled on me because nobody sent an email at the right time to talk about who had to make a poster when. So this happened to me when I was on tour last year, and I was just sort of stranded in Tempe, Arizona for 4 days, waiting for the next show to happen because something got canceled because nobody answered an email on time. So I think there has to be some transparency with communication. I do think we have to do more with, here's my phone number, text me. Here's my work email, non-work email, text me. I do think there has to be a complete 100% open line of communication between venue and artist on basically anything that has or could come up with putting on a show.
I'm gonna say I'm scared of that. But I do think that like because people text at all kinds of times, like it's like being a doctor, but not really. But it's like people are like I get texts at like 2 a.m. from friends who are like, hey, I have this show coming up and da da da. It's like there needs to be time off. But for somebody who's running anything, right? But I do think, it's just that one point that I can test. But
You can have a business WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Get a burner phone.
Yeah, get a
Yep.
burner. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
Have like a business WhatsApp.
Or an agreed upon, I think there just needs to be an agreed upon communication. Like I say, I'm like, we're gonna email, I'm gonna try to get back within 2 or 3 days. And then, yeah, I've definitely fucked that up. But yeah, just working on an agreed upon system of communication that people are responsible for, totally.
And setting expectations as early as possible in the process over who's doing what.
Like that thing.
Yeah, Kim and I have been talking about like a form, and I like tweak it all the time, and it's I need to just put something out there, which is a form that says like just with some easy like inputs where you can put in like name, email, like emails of people on the bill, assets, whatever, and then a couple like I agree tos to say like I agree to get like a flyer and like the bill together. I agree to tag you as a collaborator and all social like those sorts of things, because I don't want to like mother people about it, but at the same time I think there just is a lack of transparency over what the
people assume one person's going to take care of one thing.
yeah, like you're the promoter, don't you do everything? It's like, well, so yeah, I think probably on both sides we could do a better job of communicating. But it starts with us, I think, as the bookers, right? Because we're letting you into our space and we're hosting you, and it's like, hey, shoes off at the front door. These are house rules, and like that extends to promo, I think. So thanks for bringing that in.
Anybody?
Any other gripes?
Great.
When I send a stage plot,
No one reads
who looks at it?
No one.
When I send a stage plot, who looks at it? That's my gripe.
Yo, I agree. I still don't know a good way to get the sound person that gets 6 new sound person the stage plot for the 3rd band that's playing that night. I still don't know a good way to do that.
I made a graphic.
Okay, I can't wait.
I'll send it. I'll share it with you. It's part of my email signature.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Yeah, because no one would open the attachment, so I just made it part of the email signature.
Could be a virus.
Could be a virus from azulsapata@gmail.com.
Do you have any gripes, Saman?
Oh, come on. There's plenty of musicians in here that can complain.
I love all venues and they're perfect. No, I'm just kidding. Someone else go. I'll think about one.
Or is there anything that you wish venues did differently with promo or could do more with?
I had a, I don't know if it's a gripe or not. Like what you said before, like money and trust are sometimes mutually exclusive. So I played shows before where there's no guarantee, and it is just like a bar percentage or, like with the door percentage, a lot of venues will have, I've seen, pre-made
we don't do bar splits, so I don't really have any
I mean,
insight.
but yeah, like getting a fucking printout. Be
Yeah.
like, yo, show me your bar sales. Print it out from the, I'm just gonna do that. But yeah. That's the problem. Dude, here's the thing. Money is type A, right? Like, money is not an idea. Like, it's not a feeling. It's like, why is everyone so afraid? I mean, I know why. There's so many reasons. But, like, artists shouldn't, like, I don't know. As a venue owner, I'll speak as that person. Like, I want artists to be like, show me where it came from. And, like, we'll get our settlement sheets to be better, because it's just, like, you should know everything. Every single fucking thing. But I really hate that, like, artists are like, and I'm an artist too, so I'm talking about myself, but like, oh, I don't know, I guess that's good enough. I'm so glad that I got to play here. It's like, no, you're bringing in a bunch of people. Like, we're glad you're playing here too, you know? But two of my gripes, just as an artist and venue, well, now I only remember one, but this one, I hate this one, merch cuts. Fuck a merch cut. Fuck a merch cut. On big venues, on like all sorts of shit. Fuck that. Find new ways to get money, but that artist made that merch. Your fucking merch cut is making that shirt $25 more. It's so fucking stupid. I get so mad at it, especially in small venues, because I'm like, what? This person screen printed their shirt. Are you kidding me? Like, are you paying them for their labor? Like, I hate you. Oh, and non-diverse bills. And diversity, I feel like, I'm gonna just say that as one drop word. Like, whatever you feel like diversity is. Is it genre? Is it like, queerness? Is it hair length? Whatever. Like, it's just bills where everything, like, you're like, oh, me and my friend, it's like Jack and Bob and Joe are playing guitar for 4 hours. It's like, that shit, it's just not
Those
that.
are not the shows that I go to.
Yeah.
Not a one.
Well, yeah, not many people do, I will have to tell you that. But I just feel like diversity in our genre and in our like way that we create, like, that kind of thing is what makes it all really interesting. It's like, you're like, shit, I'm gonna see this like funk band, and then I'm gonna see this like jazz music. I'm just talking, I'm gonna say something stupid. But yeah, I feel like diversity. And on the band's end, I don't feel like the venue should have to be like, hey, remember, guys, make your show interesting. It's like, just do that. Anyway, bye.
I completely agree. I think we should make white blues illegal. No more of that. No more white blues 4 pieces with Les Pauls and Fender Deluxes and etc. I don't care about that. You don't care about that. Whatever. This is not a gripe, but a just suggestion. I think it would be great if venues had backline available. And I know obviously there are financial limitations. Y'all do a great job at it.
We suck. There's a bass amp that hasn't worked in 2 years.
I literally. Yeah. That's just like a little cherry on top, If you're coming through, just know that there will be instruments there, amps, drums, etc. That'd be awesome. And there's a great used market out there. I'm looking at you. Used market for instruments and stuff. Yeah. Anyway, that's my suggestion.
Cool. Subs for drummers, the new support group. Yeah, no, I know. I know. Sub monitors for drummers, which very few venues have, and ours is broken. So whatever. Does anyone have any other questions
Or thoughts?
Or thoughts? Yeah. Anyone want to think out loud?
I will call on you.
Oh, we have an email list to sign up for Hive Mind only, and it's on the bar. Please sign up for it, because these are so cool, and I want to keep them going. And they are just an offering that we're all giving each other. Like, we're not making money tonight. Please tip your bartender, regardless if you have a drink. But please do that, and then we can create this community where we can keep talking about this shit, even if things aren't coming to your head right now. Maybe we'll figure out how to create a group so that happens. That's right, Billy.
I will call on someone if someone doesn't say something, because you all have been sitting there, and some of you have contributed, but the lights are driving me crazy. And I know some of you, so you came here for a reason. Was it just to listen? That's true. I wasn't talking to you, Sistine. Anything? Ryan? No? Nothing? Just sitting back looking cool? Great.
Damn, doing a great job.
Other person in a beanie next to Amy?
Are,
I'm here to listen.
nice.
Oh, cool. What
venue?
venue?
Oh, hell
word.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh
Tell
my
us
God,
more about the Fuzzy Needle.
You awesome shows.
You really
coming up.
do.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome. Thank you. It's fun. We're figuring it out.
Great.
I'm here to listen and understand everybody's gripes.
Yeah. Well, can't wait till you have some of your own.
What's your contact team? I'm just kidding.
All right. Well, good job, everybody. way to
I'll just say real
be-
quick too, if you ever are at Rubies, if you play Rubies, if you're just there and you feel like something could be better, please shoot me an email. It's this booking email, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I don't know the easiest. I'm cosmic2_canopy. I don't know any other way you could find me, but like, yeah, I think Kim and I both are very interested in just hearing from people and not having any blind spots as much as possible. So, but it takes, again, collaboration and transparency and communication. So thanks for being a part of that.
I thought of one last thing that I forgot to
Yes.
bring up. Would it ever benefit anyone to have some kind of like mentorship program or something? Because when I came into the scene a long time ago, I was like, I don't see anyone that looks or thinks like me, so let me just hang out with all these white dude bros who seem to know what is going on. And I felt so alone and so isolated. So I would like to like put myself out there. If anyone wants to know what it's like to be a queer femme Latina in this music scene, or want me to connect you with someone who is more like your identity, I would be happy to do that, because that is so important for the new baby artists.
Yep.
You know.
Definitely. We have we'll stop talking probably soon, but we have, on Wednesdays, we have open hours from 12 to 3, 12 to 4 here, and I'm here working on promo stuff, but there's like, it's like, as long as we don't have to do sound for you, you can come in here and like try your thing out on the stage, or just sit and talk to people. It's just, we're open. It's kind of like a drop-in time. So y'all should do that, or tell your friends if they want to come in. That's cool. And we can talk to, I think one thing that I'm curious if folks want like office hours from people who book a place, because sometimes email is hard to get, and as Amy has said, so lovelily. So that's our office hours. Vera comes sometimes too, and yeah, it's just like a place to network / it's 12 to 4 on Wednesdays. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. During the day, sorry. All right, is that good? Is everyone good? Thanks for coming. Yeah, fuck yeah. Thank you so much for showing up.
Thank you, Kim.
Please sign up on the email list. We barely use it, don't you worry. But please do. Will you lift the fader with the computer music on it, Billy?
I did have the hairy-legged women for tomorrow, and not, for some reason my brain said it was the 15th.
Go see Hairy-Legged Women tomorrow.
Go see Harry, like, turn around, Saman.
They're selling these super cool patches and screen printed goodies.
Oh, and lastly, if you have other ideas for other Hive minds, please email booking@thepinhook.com. We can get as many people up here as we want to, or, different people. Just email with what you want to hear. Oh, this is a Hive mind. Welcome to Hive Mind. It's just us sitting up here talking and asking each other questions and listening to y'all.